Hey guys, Hellhound here, and I have some questions for you. That's right. Your pal Hellhound's got some questions, and I want you to answer them in the comments below if you can, if you don't mind. If you saw my last video, you'll know that I went and saw Suicide Squad, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. I thought it could have been a lot better. You know, it was okay. My least favorite comic book film so far this year. I forgot to mention a few things. I forgot to mention there was a flashback that showed Harley Quinn in her classic, jester red and black outfit, and dancing around with the Joker, and an obvious tribute to the great artwork of the great Alex Ross, one of the best artists, comic book artists ever. That painting of the Joker and Harley Quinn, where in that painting the Joker kind of looks like Jack Nicholson's version. And I love that they paid tribute to that. That was excellent. That was a great idea. It was the only time we saw her in her, traditional outfit that she's known for. So I'm glad that she had her classic costume at least once. That was what I was hoping for. And as you know, if you watch my video, you know that I didn't care for the design of the Joker. I didn't like the tattoos or the metal teeth or the lack of eyebrows or the fact that he was a ghetto juggalo mob boss who owned a nudie bar. Yeah, I didn't care for that. Also, that Deathstroke should have been in the movie. That would have been really cool if they had Deathstroke in it. That would have been awesome. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think that would have been cool. But yeah, Jared Leto does have the potential to be a great Joker. I think they just needs better direction, and he just kind of breathed heavily and just overdid it a little bit. I mean, the Joker's supposed to overact, but this is like a little too much, and he kind of acted like Heath Ledger's Joker at times, only like a meth addict version. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the gangsta ghetto style. That was all wrong. That didn't fit for a comic book film. Certainly not a Suicide Squad movie. The Enchantress, the witch, whatever, and her brother. I guess they're creating an army, and all the people that they infected looked like crap. They're soldiers or whatever. And I wasn't really sure what their objective was. I guess just take over the world, or get revenge or something. But I didn't really care that much. I thought I would hate Will Smith, but I ended up kind of rooting for him in the end anyway. He wasn't a good choice for Deadshot by any means, but he wasn't bad. He ended up coming out okay, a lot better than I thought. So I'd say check out Suicide Squad, and check out my video on it for more info, my opinion on that. There's just a few things I forgot to mention. I wanted to get them out of the way. I think I covered everything, hopefully, because I don't really want to talk about it in yet another video, but Amanda Waller frequently has to do things to cover her own ass, and I thought it was kind of funny how she had to shoot all those FBI agents just for that reason. She was like that in the comics, so they did a good job portraying that. A lot of things were faithful. Some things could have been done way better. I think that they need to have a Batman film take place before Batman vs. Superman, before Suicide Squad, depicting his early battles with the Joker, before he got all his tattoos and metal teeth and became a gangsta and all that shit. That'd be good. Maybe I'd like to see the Riddler as well. I want to see the Joker kill Jason Todd. I want to see him cripple Barbara Gordon. I think they definitely have some serious potential. This DC universe is off to kind of a rocky start, but I enjoy it. There's more things that I enjoy than things I dislike. So I'm hopeful, because of that. And I am looking forward to the Justice League movie. I just think that they need to really kind of get their shit together, and Zack Snyder and David Ayer might not be the best choices. Find better directors. A lot of things that they did really well. Other things I could have done without. Could have been a lot better. So I think the future of the DC universe. I think it's a bright future, hopefully. But they want to compete with Marvel. I think they really need to get a little more serious. But as I said, they did a lot of things really well, and I am really pleased with the direction it's going. I think it is going in a good direction, despite starting off a little sloppy and kind of convoluted. But as a huge comics fan, I want it to be good. I don't want it to hate it. I want it to be good. So it has my support either way. All right, guys, on to my questions. I just wanted to get that out of the way. All right. Question number 1. I want you guys to tell me. This may be a hard choice. This may be a hard one. I want you to tell me, what is your favorite horror movie of all time? Yeah, your favorite horror movie ever made. Mine, of course, is Evil Dead 2, closely followed by Return of the Living Dead. But you know, it's a hard one. I can't really decide between the two. They kind of teeter-totter between my number one. I just love both films. Story that begins with a classic horror movie, Night of the Living Dead, left off. What? 1984. Do these people even watch the movie? But anyway, yeah, I love that movie though. Yeah, that and Evil Dead 2 are kind of tied for my number one, honestly. Can't pick between the two. It's kind of a hard choice. But yeah, what is your guys' favorite horror film of all time? Alright, now, my second question is, what do you find to be the scariest horror movie ever made? Like, what movie scared you the most? You know, it doesn't have to be like your favorite, just what movie did you find like the most disturbing? Now, for me, I find real life horror disturbing. Like if a movie depicts a car accident as really realistic and really, you know, accurate to, you know, how it would really happen. You know, that's what I find horrific. You know, that's what I find scary because it reminds me that, you know, these things happen in real life. So I'm not, you know, so much scared by like ghosts and demons and zombies and, you know, vampires and stuff and aliens because, you know, that, you know, it's fantasy. Except for aliens, they might exist. But anyway, the scariest movie I've seen, probably The Shining. Now, it didn't scare me, but I just think that, like, you know, the way the music is, and the way the scenes are, the suspense, I think it's definitely a very effective, scary movie. As I said, it didn't scare. The bathtub lady kind of freaked me out, and the scene where Jack Nicholson was, you know, like, give me the bat, Wendy, you know, I thought that was creepy. But it didn't really scare me. Now, Pet Sematary, that movie scared me, mostly because of Zelda, and, you know, the fact that, you know, a toddler gets mowed down by a truck. It's kind of more sad than scary, but it definitely had some really disturbing scenes, and really, you know, really sad and really, really shocking, really disturbing. So yeah, there's definitely that movie. But I want you guys to tell me what you found. What was the scariest movie you ever saw? What movie actually scared you, or you thought that it just, you know, was so effective in its shock and fear factor? You know, it was disturbing enough to where you can recognize, you know, how scary it is, and even if it didn't scare you. Okay, now a third question, number 3. Who is your favorite horror protagonist? You know, the main character, the hero of the story, not the villain. Your favorite horror protagonist. You know, it could be, you know, one of the badass action hero types who fights back against the evils who oppose them. It could just be a final girl. You know, my favorite obviously is Ash Williams from the Evil Dead trilogy, closely followed by Reggie from Phantasm. He's just friggin' awesome. Both of them are badass. Also really like Lefty from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Tommy Jarvis from the Friday the 13th, 4, 5, and 6, Nada from They Live. I really like Henry Rollins' character from Wrong Turn 2. He was really badass. Say what you will about the movie, but he was an awesome character. He did a good job. Let's see, who else? There's so many great ones. Dr. Loomis from the Halloween movies. I mean, come on. And then, of course, you know, the final girls like Amy, you know, Amy Steele as Jenny in Friday the 13th 2. Laurie Strode, of course, from the Halloween movies. You know, Sally Hardesty from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. That's, you know, it's an obvious choice. She's a really good character. But yeah, who is your favorite horror protagonist in a horror film? You know, well, obviously. Yeah, there's so many to choose from. Yeah, I'm sure I missed some, but well, maybe I'll make a top 10 list in a video sometime in the future. All right. Now, my fourth question. I'm going to try 5 questions. So this is the 4th question, the next to the last. Who's your favorite horror villain? Now, I know that's a little harder because horror is mostly, about the villains, about the antagonist. They're the one that creates the horror, obviously. Who's your favorite horror villain? You get some time to think about it a bit, right? Now, mine, I've already mentioned. Watch my Dead Level Discussions video and our, on favorite villains. And, I mentioned, of course, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Pinhead, Chucky, Tall Man, Norman Bates, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy. There's so many choices. I mean, did I mention Norman Bates? Yeah. The puppets from Puppet Master, the Leprechaun, even though he's kind of goofy, Hannibal Lecter. There's so many to choose from. So, but I want to know who's your guys' number 1 favorite horror villain. I know it's a hard question. It's a hard choice. But I want to see all the different answers. I want to see, a wide variety in the comments about, different horror villains. Let's make a, really intricate horror discussion started, in the comments below if you guys want to. Horror should be a community, and I'm just trying to add to that, trying to contribute. There's also more obscure choices like the monster from Funhouse and the villain from The Prowler, the Killer Santa, Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night, other slasher villains, Pumpkinhead, Mary Lou from Prom Night movies, Ghostface from Scream. There's just so many choices, when I look around. Damien from The Omen. So many choices. So, yeah, who's your favorite horror villain? Let's see, my last question. Okay, I got one for you. It's a little more elaborate, but, what would you guys like to see, if you're a Jason fan, what would you like to see in a future Jason film? What would you like a future Friday the 13th film to be like? Would you want it to be another remake? Would you want it to be a sequel to the 2009 reboot, 2009 version? Would you want a sequel to the original series, or what? Personally, I don't want a sequel to the original series after Jason walks out of the water with Freddy's severed head. I mean, I guess we're to assume that he gets captured and frozen and wakes up in the future in space, like as depicted in the events of Jason X. But I'd like to have like maybe a movie in between that or something. Freddy vs. Jason, Jason X, I guess. I'd like to see one that continues from the original series. Follows all the the original Friday the 13th movies and has Crystal Lake in the winter with snow on the ground and a frozen Crystal Lake. Maybe see the return of Tommy Jarvis. Corey Feldman could play him. That'd be fun. He wants to do it. He's stated that he wants to do another Friday the 13th and reprise his role as Tommy. That'd be awesome. I'd even be happy if Tom Matthews did it. Either way, that's what I want to see. Jason in the winter time. Maybe the way they can kill him at the end is he gets trapped under the ice in the lake. He's frozen to death. I don't know. Or stabbed with an icicle or something. I don't know. He gets buried in snow. I don't know. But I think that'd be really cool. See Crystal Lake in the winter. See Jason do some killing in the snow, in the icy cold weather. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see in a Jason film. I'm curious to know what you guys would want to see. All right, guys. Well, those are my 5 questions. Feel free to answer them in the comments below, or just maybe think about them amongst yourself. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, of course. But hopefully I give you something to think about. My thoughts on further thoughts on Suicide Squad at the beginning of the video, in the first 5 minutes, I guess. There's some things I missed. That's kind of another one of the main reasons I want to make this video, as well as start a intricate horror discussion. But alright, guys. Well, I'm Hellhound, and thank you for watching another episode of my show. And until next time.